Hey guys, that's Sdanwolf, and yes, this was our Atlantis excursion, and we had an absolute blast. These are the buses that Disney Cruise Line puts you on. It's just kind of like the company doesn't have anything to do with Disney there. It's just the company that Disney uses for the excursion. So there is a little bit of walk from the boat. You might have heard I'll be prepared to walk 15 minutes. I don't think it was necessarily that long, but yeah, it was quite a little walk before you get to you actually get to these buses. You hear people talk about the panhandlers and stuff. It wasn't too bad once we got to the actual entrance point. Really, there was just a bunch of guys there selling bottles of water for $1, and they're just basically telling you that the water in the resort is $6, and they're just like dollar bottle of water, but it actually wasn't too bad. We noticed a lot of regular tourists walking up and down these little main strip areas. I would probably adhere to what Disney advises and not get too far off the beaten path. But we didn't really notice any issues. It was a pretty quick little drive. You hear a lot of rumors about the tram drivers here driving crazy. No, we didn't. I definitely didn't reach up and grab my handlebar or anything, and was feared for my life. We drove pretty normal over there. It was kind of funny though, on the way back from the resort, or from the resort. Remember, these trams run every 30 minutes back to the port. So if you're on a Disney cruise, you have until 4:15 to get back to the boat. And these trams that they contract with, they go back and forth every 30 minutes from a little drop-off point. And but it was funny, on the way back this day, our bus driver here, he got pulled over for running a red light. So that was a little creepy. The police kind of walked up to the bus and he's like, "Everybody stay calm." And I'm like, okay. But he just looked at his paperwork and stuff, and the cop asked him, he's like, where are you going? And he's like, "I'm getting them back to the ship. They're going to the ship." So luckily the cop just let us go. And yeah, that's the big Royal Tower Bridge suite up there. It is $25,000 a night, 4-night minimum, and it is booked all the way through. You can't actually reserve it. You can't reserve it until 2021, because all the way through 2020 it is totally booked up. So $25,000 a night, 4-night minimum. So what Casey and I did is we booked the $98 per person port adventure through Disney, did it all through the website, and it got us access to not only the resort, but the aquarium as well. We skipped on the water park pass, so we just did the beach. It's called the Atlantis Beach Day and Aquarium Excursion. So we basically had access to the entire resort, Atlantis's private beach as well, and to the entire aquarium. Now, the only thing they didn't let us do is you can't get in the guest pool, like you might have seen back in the cinematics, that big giant pool that kind of sits between the beach and the Royal Tower. Can't do that, but you can snorkel in their lagoons, use their private beaches, go all throughout their casino. You can do that. You can go through the aquarium. All of that is free game. You just can't go into the pools and into the water park if you don't do that extra excursion package. So the only other thing is that you hear a lot of people talking about the hair braiders kind of aggravating you, or the jet ski people and all that. Well, that did happen, so just prepare yourself for that. I mean, all you have to do is tell them no thank you, but the ones that you're going to encounter in Atlantis are pretty persistent. We had to tell the same 2 or 3 people over and over, no, she doesn't want her hair braided, or no, we don't want to go on a jet ski ride. So they're pretty persistent. So yeah, you have to how normally in the States you tell somebody like that, no thanks, and they're like, okay, and they just walk on. Atlantis was a little different. They're kind of pushy with their hair braiding. And another thing that obviously you guys probably know, but do not expect the Disney magic once you leave that ship. Everybody at Atlantis was really nice and laid back, but you can tell they're kind of like hotel workers, or here in America, they deal with so many tourists. You just can't expect that same bubbly personable Disney training that the Disney cast members go through on Atlantis. It's definitely you can definitely tell the difference between Atlantis employees and Disney employees. So, that's just another thing to just keep in mind. That, like I said, a little bit of the magic stays behind when you leave that ship, but that's to be expected. But another thing about the ship, once you leave this excursion, and that totally sets it apart, and we think makes that Disney, that extra cash you have to put down for Disney worth it. When we were coming back to the ship, we saw that the Royal Caribbean, I think, and a Carnival ship was there, and some other ship was there, but they had their little gangway planks set up, and that was it. Like, their people would just walk back across the little gangway and right back into the ship. Whereas Disney, when you come back to the ship, they've got these big tents set up, and they've got these giant water stations with fruit punch and lemonade water, regular water, and there's actually a guy sitting there handing out cool watered washcloths to put on the back of your neck and rub your face down with. So that is just one of the minor details that sets Disney apart from the other excursions and the cruises that we noticed people kind of going back on and getting back on the ship like Disney. And they also have huge hand sanitizing stations for when you get back onto the Disney ship. So that's where definitely, as always, Disney kind of sets themselves apart. I mean, having a guy standing there with cold, wet rags after you're burning up and after this sweltering hot, Bahamian day, it was a really cool touch, and I grabbed a big drink of ice cold fruit punch as well. So anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and jump on out of here. Let me know down below if you have any questions about the excursion or anything you've been wondering about, and I'll try to answer it down below. And like I said, this is the Atlantis excursion from the Disney Dream 3-night Halloween on the high seas. So I will catch you guys next time. Thank you.